Hey there, movie fans! In this video I'm going to show you my collection of Dutch horror movies, also called NetherHorror. It's a rather small collection because there aren't many Dutch horror movies out there. But we start off with this VHS tape. This came out in 1995. It contains a series of short Dutch films, including The Bitch is Back, which is about a blow-up doll that comes to life and terrorizes its owner. Burp, which is about a telephone boot that eats people. Picnic was an early short by Dick Maas, who later directed The Lift and Amsterdam. Zombie 1 is, as it says here, an homage to Night of the Living Dead and also several Italian zombie films. It's a funny little, movie with some bad makeup. The same kind of makeup that you see in those Italian zombie films, and it also has some badly dubbed actors. That was directed by Richard Raaphorst, who later became the director of Frankenstein's Army, which I'm going to show you in a minute. But this is a great release on VHS. Next one is the NetherHorror DVD box, which contains 3 low-budget horror films. Let me show you what they has. This is Tikken, which I haven't seen yet, believe it or not. But this is a short film. I believe it's about 20 minutes or so. This one I have seen, Horizonnica, which is a zombie film. It's a fun film. It's a fun film made with 1,236 volunteers, and it's 2 hours long, which is way too long if you ask me. But you can clearly see that this was made with a lot of passion and enthusiasm. And this also has a very small role of Lloyd Kaufman. If my camera can catch that now. There he is, right there, Mr. Troma himself. It's a fun movie, but it's just too long, to be honest. And this is a slasher movie called Woensdag, which is Dutch for Wednesday. Also a nice, very low budget movie. This one. It says the first slasher movie of the Netherlands here, but that's not entirely true. But this is a very nice release. Here's another short, low-budget horror film, Necro Phobia, which is alright. The guys who directed this also became the director of Slaughter Night. There's some good gore in it, however, especially here. Look at that. This is only in the movie for a couple of seconds at the beginning, but it's alright. And speaking of Slaughter Night, here it is. I have the hard box of it, which is limited to 99, and you can see my number down there. Very decent movie, this one. Very decent movie. This is the DVD steelbook of Dood Eind, which is Dutch for Dead End. Another decent horror film. But unfortunately, it after a while it kind of repeated itself. But not bad at all. Intensive Care. This is a classic, a real cult classic. This is one of those so bad is good kind of movies. Love it. This is another. This came first before Wednesday. Wednesday was called the first slasher movie, but actually this is, as far as I know, the first slasher movie ever made. Although Amsterdam is also considered a slasher movie, and that became before this one, so I guess that's the first one. Although it's not It's not an entirely slasher film. It's a hybrid of different genres. Next one is The Johnsons. According to many, this is the best Dutch horror film ever made, and I mean, it's certainly one of the best that I've ever seen. And this, I actually saw this in the movie theater back in the day, which is now 25 years ago this year, and I was 14 back then when I saw this, and I loved it ever since. It's a great film, absolutely great film. I cannot wait to see the making of documentary. You know, they recently made a documentary about the Johnsons, and I would love to see that. Kirsten was a psychological, supernatural horror film. Really good, this one. Really good. Also the actress, Terence Scheurs, is brilliant. I hope this will get an international release, because, you know, many people should be watching this. Deadline is a short zombie movie. 23 minutes. You know, it has some nice bonus material there. It's fun, it's fun. Just a fun movie, this one. And here is, well, you know, pretty much the one that started the whole NetherHorror movement, you know, Dutch horror films. The Lift by Dick Maas. I mean, with this film, he really shows that the Dutch could do more than just making drama and comedy and World War II films. You know, he really showed that you could make a genre film in the Netherlands, and quite a good one as well. Because, you know, this is now a classic. The Lift, great film. And later on, he directed Amsterdam, which is another classic. You know, it's part slasher movie, part giallo, part action thriller. You know, it's many different genres in one. And of course, I also have the underground Blu-ray of Amsterdam. Beautiful picture quality, by the way. And here is The Lift, also from Blue Underground. I just received this, as well as the English language remake Down, which is also known as The Shaft, with Naomi Watts there. Before she, you know, break through with Mulholland Drive. But you know, it's a decent remake, but the first one is the best one, or the original one is the best one, I should say. And here is another one by Dick Maas, Sint. In English, it's known as Saint. You know, he wants to make a sequel to this one, and I really hope that he gets a chance to do it. Yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I enjoyed it a lot. This is the Blu-ray DVD combo steelbook, by the way. And this is this latest one, Prooi, which means prey, which is about a lion that escapes from a zoo and well, terrorizes the city of Amsterdam. Very, very funny and entertaining horror comedy, this one. The Pooh, which is a psychological horror thriller about two families that you know, they're camping near a pool or a lake, but there's something terribly wrong with this lake that drives these people to insanity. It's a very well made film, directed by Chris W. Mitchell, an Englishman who, you know, lived and worked in the Netherlands for many years, for 30 years, I believe. And yeah, this is actually the first film that was produced, if I'm correct, by, yeah, the House of NetherHorror, which is a production company, and they have plans to, you know, to make more future projects, you know, movies and TV series. So very much looking forward to that. You know, I hope that they manage to realize those projects. The Windmill Massacre. This was co-written by Chris W. Mitchell, if I'm correct. Was it? Yeah, it is. It is, you know, an English language movie, but it is a Dutch film after all, and a very well made Dutch film as well. And there's another English language but Dutch production, Frankenstein's Army. It was directed by Richard Trapos, who also did you know, the Little Zombie 1 movie there. You know, for years he was trying to make another zombie film called Worst Case Scenario. He made 2 promotional trailers for that. I believe you can watch it on YouTube. I will find the link, I will put the link below this video so you can watch it yourself. You know, he has been busy getting that project off the ground for 10 years, and at one point Brian Usna, the director of Society and Bride of the Reanimator, was involved, but he just couldn't get it made, unfortunately. So after that he concentrates on another film, which became Frankenstein's Army, and he managed to get it off the ground, luckily, because this is a really good film. I really enjoyed it. It was a great makeup effects that was done by the team who also worked on the Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings movies. Very well made, Frankenstein's Army. This is Zwart Water, which means black water. Pretty good, actually. It was better than I expected. And it also has a very good twist at the end. And they're working on an American remake of this. I believe that Charlize Theron's production company is involved in it. You know, there has been talk about, you know, doing the remake for many years, but I don't know if they're still going to make it, or if it's in development hell, as they call it. But anyway, if you get the chance to see this one, the original one, do go see it. It's pretty good. And the last one I have is Zombie. The English title of this one is Kill Zombie, which is very bland title, if you ask me. Zombie sounds a lot better, but it's a fun, you know, silly horror comedy. It's good, and I like the you know, the green cage there, which is very appropriate with the look of this film. But anyway, that's it. Let me know which ones you have seen and what you think of them, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.